So today we are going to be doing some creamy Southwest chicken, and I have out all the ingredients that we'll be using. Starting over here, we've got our organic chicken. I have boneless, skinless thighs. This is also great with bone in and skin on too, because you're going to give it a sear, which will make that skin really crispy on the outside. So you have some flexibility with the chicken, but anyway, today I've got the boneless, skinless chicken thighs, some fresh limes. I do have quite a few spices here that I've already got mixed up, but you're going to use a combination of cumin, paprika, chili powder, coriander, garlic, I think I said garlic powder, and salt, and a little bit of cayenne if you want to give it a kick. I should mention, don't feel like you are tied to this recipe, guys. I know some people might say I don't have coriander, so I can't do it, or I'm out of cumin. I'm a big believer in use what you got. If you want to try some different spices, add some different spices in, but don't let that stop you from trying this recipe. Some fresh cilantro, some nice fresh red peppers, an onion, a couple cans of coconut milk, because I'm going to be doubling the recipe for my family. And since we're doing the Whole30, this vegetable broth is compliant, but you can also use chicken broth, bone broth, either one of those work. I always suggest using a broth in place of water. It's just going to add so much more flavor to your dish. So that's what we've got right now. So I'm just going to do a quick slice down the middle. And then I'm just going to use my hands. Do not have to be super timely with this. In fact, I'm all about saving as much time as possible whenever possible. So don't worry about cutting it real gently with a knife. Just get your hands in there, pull out the seeds, put it aside in a baggie, toss it in the trash. And it's okay if there's a few seeds left in there. It doesn't have to be perfect either. So you just want to get out as much as you can, as quickly as you can. We're going to slice that up. And then our onion. I just slice the top off, lay it on the flat side, cut it in half, and to me that makes it a whole lot easier to peel. Just grab one side, peel it off. Do the same with this side. Peel it off. For this dish, I'm going to cut the onion in a little bit of a thicker slice, and I'm just going to do the half moons. One of my daughters hates onions, so normally I omit the onion, but because these are big enough, I can just pull them out of whatever it is I'm serving her. So half moon slices. And then I'm just going to put those onions in a bowl that I've got sitting right next to me here. Those are going to be added into our Dutch oven a little later. So for the red peppers, slice them however way you want, but you're going to do about the same thickness of the onions. Whew, those onions are making me cry. And I'm just going to sit them off to the side as well. Last one. This is a super tasty dish, guys. I love the combination of all these spices with coconut milk. I can eat this often, and so can my family. Alright, so that's all put aside there. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take our chicken thighs, and to save a cleanup step, because chicken, obviously, you do have to be careful with the cleanup, I'm going to lay some aluminum foil down or wax paper just to make the cleanup a little bit easier. So, alright, so I've got my aluminum laid down over my cutting board. You can also use a sheet pan, whatever you want. I'm just going to lay my thighs out. You can rinse them, I don't think it's necessary at this point. If I were, you know, roasting a chicken or something, I would rinse, but these are good the way they are. So, I'm just going to grab some of my spice blend and just coat my chicken thighs. And I will put the spice blend up, but again, it's a combination of chili powder, paprika, cumin, coriander if you have it, some salt, garlic powder, and a little bit of cayenne pepper if you want to give it a kick. So after I coat the one side, I'm just going to turn them over and do the same. I'm not worried about sticking my hand back in the spice blend because I know I'm going to use it all for this particular dish, but obviously you do not want to stick your hand in your own spice bottles if you have raw chicken on them. Alright, so just make sure they're well coated. And then we're going to talk pans. This can be done in a crock pot, but again, if you're a busy woman or man and you're trying to get this done as quickly as possible, I'm going to show you how I do it in my Dutch oven, so I only have to deal with one pot. So let's go over to the oven now. Okay guys, so the next step we're going to do is searing the chicken, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to get yourself a screaming hot pan, which you can see the smoke. You don't want to get too hot that it's smoking like that. I took it off, now we're good to go. Add a little olive oil in the bottom, but basically what you want to hear when you put the chicken in is that. And what you're doing is you're just going to be locking in the juices of the chicken by searing the outside. So you're just going to let it sear for about a minute or two on each side, and we'll be ready to go. Now I have here a Dutch oven. You could use a saucepan and then transfer the chicken to a crock pot. But if you ask me, I'm all about easy cleanup, quick and convenient, so I prefer to do the Dutch oven because it's a one-pot deal. Completely up to you. But I know I don't have a lot of time, so I'm sure you don't have a lot of time if you're watching this. Okay, so just to show you what we're gonna look like. It's been about a minute. I'm just going to turn the chicken over. You don't want it to burn. You really want it to have a nice kind of crispy outside. All that flavor. Alright, so give it another minute on that side, and then we're going to start adding in our liquid ingredients. Okay, so I've got my chicken in the same pot that I seared it in. Again, if you're going to use a saute pan, you're going to sear it and then go ahead and throw the chicken into your crock pot, and then you'll add all of your liquids to that. But again, to simplify things, I'm putting mine in my Dutch oven. This is great because it can go both in the oven completely or stay on the stove top, which I'll probably leave it on the stove top just for this dish. So now that the chicken's seared and in there, I've already added 1 can of coconut milk. I'm going to go ahead and add my broth, about a cup's worth. And then I'm going to add the juice of a couple limes. Now to feed 4, I would probably use about 1.5 pounds of chicken thighs. However, with our family, because we love leftovers and because we can eat a ton of chicken, I doubled this recipe. So even though I'm giving you guys the recipe for about 1.5 pounds worth to feed 4 people, what you see me adding in might be a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and juice those limes. I love, love, love the citrus, the acid that it gives the dish. So to your acquired taste, if you don't want it too zingy, then you could go 1 lime less. But I actually added an extra lime in there. So I have a total of the juice of 3 limes in here for about 4 pounds of meat. So I'm actually, again, since I'm doubling it, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 more can of coconut milk. I think it makes this dish so creamy, so rich, and this sauce, when you're done, this broth, you can actually, I could drink it out of a cup. It's that good. So I'm just going to, now that I've added in the stock, the lime juice, and the coconut milk, and that'll all melt together and be delicious yumminess. I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on and set it at about a low to medium heat. And I'm going to put my lid on and probably leave it there for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I will go ahead and add in my peppers and onions. I do that only because I actually prefer my onions and peppers to be a little bit more al dente. If you don't mind them being soft, go ahead and throw them in all together at the same time, and it'll cook for a total of about 2 to 3 hours in my Dutch oven. If you're going to do crock pot, I'd say on low, anywhere between 3 to 5 hours. It really just depends on your crock pot and how hot it gets. But you'll know it's ready when you go ahead and take the chicken out. If you're using bone-in, it'll fall off the bone. If you're not using a bone, it'll literally just shred when you pick it up with a fork or some tongs. So hopefully that helps, guys. I'll show you what the finished product looks like in just a bit. Alright, so this has been going for about 45 minutes now. And I'm just going to go ahead and add in my peppers and onions. You can see the beautiful color, guys. It smells so good. Oh, I love this dish. So I'm just going to mix that in, and then we're going to let it cook for probably about another 20 to 30 minutes on low to low medium heat. Alright, y'all, so I left it in for another about 35 minutes on low, and this is what we're working with. It is smelling absolutely delicious. The only thing more I'm going to do to this is just add some fresh cilantro, and then to serve you can add some lime wedges for them to squeeze on top. It is delicious. You can taste the citrus, you can taste the creaminess of the coconut, and so I'm going to have my handy dandy helper here just add in the cilantro. Use your hand, honey, and just throw it all in there. Try to get it in the pot. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you. Alright. And just stir that up. Oh my gosh, the color's gorgeous. Alright, and dinner is ready. Okay, and when you're ready to serve, just throw some of that chicken on there. Look, you can see how it's literally just falling apart. Just shredding all by itself. So throw some chicken, some onions, some peppers. Oh my gosh, this is so good. When you're done the whole 30, you can put some rice underneath this, some pasta. Serve it with some potatoes if you want to starch. Absolutely delicious. And then just for garnish, you can do a little more cilantro or throw some lime wedges on there, and there you go, guys. Get some extra sauce in there too. So good. Thanks again. I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back and visit us soon at The Clean Cuisine. Don't forget to subscribe.